box arrived on a Saturday afternoon, just before the rain started. The sky was heavy and gray, like it knew something cruel was about to happen. I remember how the wind knocked the package against the front door as if it was desperate to be let in. I wasn't expecting anything. It wasn't like Mother's Day ever meant much around here. Not in this house, not anymore. I hadn't seen my son in 5 months. We used to be close, or so I let myself believe. I raised him alone for years while his father chased jobs and excuses. I gave up everything so he could have something: clean clothes, hot meals, braces when we couldn't afford our own groceries. But ever since he married that woman, Lacey, with her tight smile and colder eyes, he had become someone I barely recognized. He stopped calling unless they needed something, a favor, a check, a ride they'd pretend was just to spend time with me. I knew it. I saw it. But I stayed silent. Mothers do that, don't they? So, when I opened the door and saw that box sitting there with my name scribbled in messy black marker, I thought maybe, just maybe, he remembered. My heart jumped like it used to when he brought me drawings from school or handmade cards with misspelled I love yous. I bent down, my knees stiff, and picked it up. It was light. Too light. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. My husband, well, second husband, Gary, came in from the back door just as I was pulling the box inside. His eyes flicked to the label, then to my face. "Don't open it," he said quickly, voice too sharp, too fast. I turned to him, confused. "It's from Brandon," I said, barely whispering it, like maybe that would make it sweeter. "Mother's Day." He looked at me like I was holding a bomb. "Just put it down. It's not worth it, Martha." That's when the smell hit me. Not strong, not yet. Just a faint sourness leaking through the tape. But I wanted to believe. My hands trembled as I peeled back the cardboard flaps. Inside was a black trash bag, tied, tight, sloppy. My heart slowed. My stomach dropped. Gary didn't move. He just stood there like a man watching a car crash in slow motion. I reached in and pulled the bag out. "Don't," he said again, barely audible. But I did. The knot was tight, almost like it had been yanked shut in anger. I had to dig my nails in, rip it. When it finally tore open, something hit the floor with a sickening thud. I looked down, and time, everything, froze. It was trash. Literal trash. Rotting food, greasy napkins, empty beer cans, a crumpled note with smeared ink that said, "Here's what you're worth. Happy Mother's Day." I couldn't speak. I couldn't even breathe. I stared at the floor where bits of leftover takeout and moldy bread sat inches from my feet. My hands were shaking, my mouth opened, but nothing came out. I looked up at Gary, who didn't look surprised. Just tired. That's when I understood. He had known. He knew what was coming. He knew Brandon had done this before. "You weren't supposed to see that," he said quietly, not even meeting my eyes. "He sent something similar last year. I threw it out before you got home." That broke me more than the bag did. Last year? Last year when I thought nothing arrived because maybe he just forgot? Last year when I defended him, saying he was busy? He'd sent me garbage before, and Gary had hidden it, trying to protect me, trying to keep the illusion alive. But illusions cut deeper when they shatter. My son had taken all the love I poured into him, all the years I bent myself into pieces, and repackaged it into rotting filth. And he mailed it to my doorstep with postage. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just sat down on the floor beside the mess, the smell clawing at my nose, and stared at the note. My hands curled around it, tight enough to crumple it, but I didn't. I wanted to remember his handwriting, how familiar it was, how different it felt now. I raised a monster. I whispered. Gary sat beside me slowly, knees cracking as he bent. He didn't say I was wrong. That night I couldn't sleep. I laid awake listening to the rain beat against the roof, replaying every birthday I made magical, every coat I bought instead of one for myself, every bill I juggled so he could go on school trips. I thought of the night I stayed up sewing his prom suit because we couldn't afford a new one. The same night he told me I was embarrassing because I smelled like cleaning supplies. And now this, a garbage bag, on Mother's Day, for loving him too much. But the thing about a mother's heart, when it breaks, something else starts to grow in the cracks. I wasn't going to cry anymore. I wasn't going to beg or question what I did wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, but I knew something now. I knew how to hurt him without lifting a hand, without raising my voice. I knew exactly where to cut, where it would bleed longest. The next morning, I stood in the kitchen, the smell of bleach stinging my nose as I scrubbed the floor where that trash had hit. I cleaned in silence, slowly, deliberately, like I was erasing him from my house one wipe at a time. Gary didn't say much. He brought me a fresh cup of coffee and sat at the table, watching me like I might collapse at any second. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because something inside me had shifted. Not snapped, not broken, but turned. Like a door inside my chest had quietly closed. The kind of door you don't open again. I didn't throw away the note. I dried it, flattened it between two books, and tucked it into a drawer. Not because I wanted to keep it, but because I wanted to remember. Remember what my son thought I was worth. Trash. That was his truth. Now it would be mine too, but not in the way he intended. I didn't call him. I didn't text. I didn't cry. I let the silence do the talking. 2 weeks later, Brandon texted, "You get my package?" That was it. No apology, no explanation, just a smirk hiding behind letters. I stared at the screen for a long time. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, then backed away. Let him wonder. Let him wait. That kind of silence hurts more than any words. Days passed, then a new message came. "Lacey and I are going through some stuff. Dad said you might be able to help." Ah, there it was. The switch. The moment cruelty turns into need. I didn't reply, but it stirred something in me. A plan. Not for petty revenge, not for screaming matches or family fights, but something colder, deeper. A kind of revenge that slips under the skin and stays there. I walked upstairs and opened the closet where I kept the blue fireproof box. Inside were all the documents they forgot I still had. Bank transfers, old deeds, trust account access. The things I used to set up for Brandon when I thought I'd be gone before he needed them. They thought I'd forgotten, too old to manage finances, too fragile to remember numbers or passwords. But I remembered everything. I remembered the way he begged for help with the down payment on their house. I remembered how I signed as the co-owner. "Just for security, Mom. It's just paperwork." Because they didn't qualify a loan. I remembered the second car I bought in my name so they wouldn't get denied. And I remembered every withdrawal I made to keep them from drowning while they lived like royalty. They wanted to pretend I was trash? Then I'd make sure they knew exactly what it felt like to be discarded. I called a lawyer the next day, a younger woman, sharp, clean, no nonsense. I laid everything out on her desk, file by file. She raised an eyebrow, impressed. "You're still on title for both the house and the vehicle," she said, flipping through the documents. "Technically, you have more rights than they do." I nodded slowly. Good. I want them to feel what I felt. Not with yelling, with silence. I want it to look like nothing at first. Then I want it to hurt. She smiled, not cruelly, but with respect, like she understood. The wheels moved faster than I thought. Within 10 days, a formal notice was delivered to their house. I didn't send it myself. I didn't have to. It came through certified mail, sealed in that crisp white envelope with a printed logo on the corner that makes your stomach drop the moment you see it. Gary brought in the mail that afternoon, holding it like a quiet trophy. "It's done," he said simply. Later that evening, my phone rang. His name flashed on the screen again. I stared at it for a moment, then answered. "What the hell is this?" Brandon shouted. No hello, no mother, just rage. "You read it, didn't you?" I said calmly, walking out to the porch and sitting in my rocker like I had all the time in the world. "You're taking back the house? The car? Are you insane? We have a baby coming!" I closed my eyes. "You sent your mother a bag of garbage on Mother's Day, Brandon." There was silence, just breathing. Then, "It was a joke," Lacey said. "No," I cut in, soft but sharp. "It wasn't a joke. It was how you see me. And now I'm just showing you what I see when I look at you. Two selfish people who used a woman until she had nothing left but empty gift wrap and memories she wishes she could forget." "You're ruining our lives." I smiled, a bitter curve to my lips. "I'm just removing the trash from mine." He hung up. I sat in silence, rocking gently, watching the sun sink behind the trees. For once, the silence didn't feel empty. It felt clean. It took less than a month for everything to unravel. The second notice hit them harder than the first. This one wasn't a warning. It was final. I wasn't just reclaiming the property. I was reclaiming every piece of myself they'd stomped on while calling it love. Brandon called again. I didn't answer. Then came a message. "We'll move. Just give us time, please." I didn't reply. When the movers arrived, legally arranged, quietly paid for, they found the house half-packed, chaos stuffed into cardboard, Lacey sobbing in the driveway. I didn't show up. I didn't need to. A mother doesn't have to scream when she's already been heard. The car was towed the same day. It had my name on it, always did. They just forgot whose name they spat on. Weeks passed. The neighborhood whispered. Gary and I sat in peace. He never said, "I told you so." He just brought me my tea every morning and I let myself breathe again. But I didn't stop there. I had the trash bag professionally sealed in acrylic, a clear box, airtight, unmissable. Then I mailed it back. Same return address, same label. One difference. This time, it came with a note in my handwriting. "Here's what you threw away. Happy Mother's Day from the woman you'll never use again." And I meant it. Every word. That was the last time I ever heard from them. The silence hasn't hurt since. It's felt like freedom. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.